ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فهو المهتد ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له الملك وله الحمد وهو على كل شيء قدير ونشهد أن سيدنا وعظيمنا وحبيبنا محمد رسول الله صلوات الله وسلامه عليه وعلى آله وأصحابه وأزواجه ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. نشهد أنه بلغ الرسالة وأدى الأمانة ونصح الأمة وكشف الغمة وجاهد في الله حق جهاده حتى أتاه اليقين. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. أما بعد، فإن أصدق الحديث كلام الله وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله تعالى عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة في دين ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. Brothers and sisters in Islam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran, when He brings back the biography and the lessons from the other people, prophets or the good people or the bad people, it's for the believers to take lesson from them and apply it toward the good and prevent themselves if it was evil to avoid the evil part. The chapter of Luqman, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala named it because of mentioning a person inside that surah. Some scholars say he is a prophet, some say he's not a prophet. Jumhur al-ulama, the majority of the ulama, they say he's not a prophet. For us, it doesn't matter really. Whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned, all what we know, Luqman, that may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless his soul, that he was a good person. Be a prophet or non-prophet, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَلَقَدْ آتَيْنَا لُقْمَانَ الْحِكْمَةَ أَنِ اشْكُرْ لِلَّهِ. That we bestowed on Luqman the wisdom. The wisdom. Now what's the wisdom? Wisdom, there is a difference between the knowledge and the wisdom. Al-ilm wal-hikmah. أَتَيْنَاهُمُ الْكِتَابَ وَالْحِكْمَةِ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala differentiate between the two. Al-kitab wal-hikmah. The kitab is the book that comes with the knowledge and the ilm. But the hikmah is a wisdom. The person who has knowledge, for sure, it's not a must to have a wisdom. Some people are knowledgeable, but there is no, they don't have any wise. But there are people that they are very limited in the knowledge, but they are very wise. They have a lot of wisdom. So wisdom is that to put the right thing at the right time with the right person. Like put things in its position, act things according to what is needed at that time, for that spot. So this is the wise, that when you do the step, you take a pause, then you take the step forward. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in here that He bestows on him an ishkur lillah. Now, look at the word that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is commanding with the command verb, an ishkur. Because the command, the shukr, is always something to continue. When you read it, you feel that He's commanding you as well to thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then the main purpose really is not on the shukr, the topic of the khutbah, but it's most on the verses that Luqman interaction with his child, his son. And my topic on this is really important because at the end of the year and the matter of the starting a new year, is by the end of the year, people do the taxes, annual income, whatever he has, that's people are collecting and what they have done and what's the plan for the next year. Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the hadith, رواه النسائي عن عائشة, he said, إن أطيب ما أكل الرجل من كسبه. The best of the act, what people can earn it and eat from it to survive with it, whatever he earns with his sweat. What earns with himself, to be halal. But the hadith continues and he says that فَإِنَّ وَلَدَ الرَّجُلِ مِنْ كَسْبِهِ. Because the child of the person is his business. Is his business. He earned it. And he has it. So imagine how much you pay attention to what you have done, what you have earned, and what's your plan for the next year. You should not underestimate the children that you made them. If you already decided to have them, and you have them, then as much as it has to be more, but it should not be less than what you pay attention to what we earn. That much. So that it has the same value for you, always. That this is the same business I am doing. In fact, that is what we call it as-sadaqa al-jariyah. Every person does, he has to die. When he dies, only 3 lines will continue in this life to be with him. Nothing else. 3 lines. That صدقة جارية أو علم ينتفع بها أو ولد صالح يدعو له. The child, if he will be the good one, will be for you a صدقة جارية. It will be continuity, good deeds for you to continue and be able to benefit from that. Otherwise, if it goes to the wrong direction, could be worse as well. So here Luqman with his son, the dialogue. قال لقمان لابنه وهو يعظه. When Luqman is talking to his child. Now, يعظه, al-wa'adh is not something new. Al-wa'adh, when you give a wa'adh, like when you have been in the, we say, let the imam give a maw'idha. Maw'idha is more reminding. It's more that you have heard it, but all I do, or the person who is on the mihrab, he does remind you. Most of you, all of you, have heard the story of Luqman in the past. But if I ask you now, what Luqman, unless the people are knowledgeable in the Quran and knows the tafsir of the Quran, he won't remember all those steps that what Luqman exactly did. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 advices. Unless you always practice it and remember it, what he has done, what he applied, what tips and tricks he used. إذ قال لقمان لابنه وهو يعظه, when he's giving his advice and reminder, يا بني. This is تصغير of ibni, the shorten, but it's used like beloved son. Beloved son. Especially, I'm worse than all of you. Middle Eastern, hardly we will have to have that, using that nice word, especially fathers. Mothers, different. The kids are more toward their mothers that they go. But the fathers, we are just rough. We don't say that. We don't, even that child knows that you like him, but we just say like that. We just call them by hey and then boy or his name and so on and so on, or nickname on his name. But here is the matter of that relation that he's building. يا بني لا تشرك بالله. So he started with the top level of this deen. لا تشرك بالله. Do not associate anyone with your Lord. Do not associate anyone with the one who made you, who gave you life, and who is the one who is taking away from you. There is nothing to be compared with him. He's the one who is the highest value. So لا تشرك بالله. Now, we always give the command to the kids, but we don't explain. But here, he explains it. Why? إن الشرك لظلم عظيم. Because if you associate anyone, it's unfair. It's really unfair to the one who made you, and you bring someone, a person or a stone or whatever, to beside him and to adjourn with him. إن الشرك لظلم عظيم. It's unfair for the Lord to bring anything to be beside him. So bringing the matter of the Tawheed. Now, maybe the child is, I don't know, the Quran didn't mention how old was. So whatever the age, 10, 15, he can't go and you read a book or something about the Tawheed, Tawheed al-Rububiyyah, Tawheed al-Uluhiyyah, you start to go down on what Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah wrote, Ibn al-Qayyim wrote, and then you try to pour it on the poor child. And you give him a lecture 5 hours after that, what's Tawheed al-Rububiyyah, what's Tawheed al-Uluhiyyah, just get in or get out. Won't remember anything. So you have to really know the level of the child where he is. You don't have to repeat what the scholars wrote for their time, unless that you could benefit from it. But the good thing is, look at what is really will make sense to that child. Therefore, he tries in the few verses after that comes about the matter of the parents. وَوَصَّيْنَا الْإِنسَانَ بِوَالِدَيْهِ. Now, scholar says those verses over in that between with the other advices, that's a statement from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is not related to Luqman. Therefore, that parenting, I will skip it. But goes to the part which is giving him the lesson, the example of what the Tawheed, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is different from the others. يا بني إنها إن تك مثقال حبة من خردل. If there will be a mustard seed, the Quran gives that example, that's small, خردل, that's small. فتكن في صخرة, in a boulder, in the large big rock. You drill it and something that's stuck inside that rock. إن تك مثقال حبة من خردل فتكن في صخرة أو في السماوات, in this space, in that galaxy, أو في الأرض, or lost on this earth. يأتي بها الله. This is the power of God. So that he explained to him at his level of the Tawheed that he understands it. Is if anyone, he looks around, the child will look around, does he see anything to do that? That's impossible for any human being, or anything that he heard in his life or he has seen it, to be able to to have that power inside that space to find the mustard seed, or big mountain and break it to take out that seed hardly that you could see. And that's good. Then he continues, فَتَكُنْ فِي صَخْرَةٍ فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ أَوْ فِي الْأَرْضِ يَأْتِ بِهَا اللَّهُ إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَطِيفٌ خَبِيرٌ. Amazing, this book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Right word. Latifun, he is very, very precise. Because people could be powerful, but they are not precise. The people that you are the wrestler, you bring them and they fight each other. They try and they try. He's very strong, but he has a hard time to get to the right, precise, to the point that he wants to get it. Allah is different. Inna Allah latifun, precise, exactly, and khabir, and knowledgeable about what he does. And those two characters are only tied with him. So when you think and explain to that child in that level, knows what the shirk billah, how bad it is. And he will never approach that. The power of God will be in his mind and will be in his conscious. I'll finish it in the second part, inshallah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. من عمل صالحا فلنفسه من عمل صالحا فلنفسه ومن أساء فعليها وما ربك بظلام للعبيد. توجهوا إلى الله بالدعاء. الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونستهديه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فهو المهتد ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا. Brothers and sisters in Islam, so the matter of the Tawheed and Aqidah, to bring that child, make that child to be attached with the Quran. Make that child that how much you try to earn, look at that child that he has right on you. He's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Does he is able to read the Quran or not? If not, then really you are losing business. You are not on the right direction. It's shame. The child is 15 and cannot read the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And you are praying and all the time of the ibadah. It's just a shame. Because what's the excuse? What is excuse that you have? There is none. So that's where the key things that you have to start. I have to sacrifice. You do the business, you work hard to earn, but this is the main thing. It will last for you. So loving, creating, not everybody is knowledgeable like Luqman, none of us. But the level that you could do is really you need to start. You can't say, okay, but he is the one, I am not him. But the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala exists. Try the child to be educated, to get him to that book and be able to access it and knows what is inside that book. One day he will start to read the interpretation and the tafsir. Now the second part, which is continuing the practice. So because in the deen we have al-aqidah wa tawheed of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and then we have the al-ibadat, al-ahkam. Here he starts, Ya bunayya aqim as-salah. O beloved son, establish the prayer. Now, why is only the prayer? He mentioned only the prayer from all the other pillars. Despite, the zakah or the fasting in the past, how were at that time. But the focus here, Quran is bringing that part only. Why? The salah, as Prophet ﷺ said, as-salah imaduddin, is the main pillar of this deen. Is the only ibadah, is the only worship that has no exclusion at any point of time, except the time that you are sleeping or you are out of mind. That's those times nothing really will be attached to this life. So as long as you have the conscious, you are tied with the prayer that to do. Aqim as-salah. Establish this. So the matter of the salah when you are traveling, when you are sick, when you are dying, in a way that you have conscious, there is a way to adjust itself with you. There is no vacation in this part. This is the part that the surviving of feeding daily, how to survive on this earth is your salah. And if this one established right, the rest of the things what he's giving the advice, because this is the key, the engine of the rest. Now people, we always, all of us are busy. And people will say, if I'm busy, skip the salah. I just give you one example. One doctor went to one of the scholars and asked him, I'm doing the surgery. Can be excluded from the prayer? All the day I don't have time for the prayer. And because I'm doing the surgery. Now, if you would start to go with the ahkam, ayat, ahadith, verses there and there, it will take him 2 hours, and the end the man says, I'm necessity, I have that. He said, if you try to go to the bathroom, will you go to the bathroom or will you keep it with yourself doing your surgery? He said, well, I'll go to the bathroom. Doesn't matter if the surgery is there or not. It says, at least to think that way. How urgent, something that for you have to get out and do it, despite life of the others are under your hand. Of course, now Islam is not forcing the person, you are in the surgery 1 hour and then the person is under your hand to do the surgery and say, okay, no, you have to do the prayer now. No, you have that flexibility, but if you say the entire day I cannot pray, that's not an excuse. So establishing that prayer is that relation with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ya bunayya, aqim as-salah. Wa'amur bil-ma'ruf wanha 'anil munkar. Because when you do the prayer will reflect. Inna salata tanha 'anil fahsha'i wal munkar. That's the true prayer, is where it does prevent you from the wrongdoing. The right prayer is ya'muruka bil-ma'ruf wa yanhaka 'anil munkar. Will make you to command the good, to ask to be to be the leader, to be the one to lead the people. That's what he's trying, to establish a leader, to bring him an example for the others. Do the ibadah, tawheed, and the aqidah and tawheed, and then come to their prayer, and then be able to also advise others. وَأَمُرْ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ وَانْهَ عَنِ الْمُنْكَرِ. But now, all what I said are not easy. وَاصْبِرْ عَلَى مَا أَصَابَكَ. And to have a patience for all what is facing you in your life. When you apply the deen in your life, you need a lot of patience. And when you communicate with others, and whatever you earn in your life, you are a student, you are a businessman, you are an employee, employer, all those are needed. وَاصْبِرْ عَلَى مَا أَصَابَكَ. What will face you and subject to you in your life, anything, have a patience with it. إِنَّ ذَلِكَ مِنْ عَزْمِ الْأُمُورِ. That is from the one who is the highest, the one who have the commitment to do. Sabr is not easy. Sabr is the hardest thing to have. How many people that they can't handle each other? With small things, then that they blow on each other and start to things, and then after an hour or 2 hours or a day or a year comes back, sorry, I should not have said that. But that's the part. And then the verses continue on the وَلَا تُصَعِّرْ خَدَّكَ لِلنَّاسِ وَلَا تَمْشِ فِي الْأَرْضِ مَرَحًا إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُحِبُّ كُلَّ مُخْتَالٍ فَخُورٍ. Now don't be arrogant. You will be time given power. You will be time given certain things others do not have. ولا تصعر خدك. Don't make your neck up and do not look down for the others. ولا تمشي في الأرض مرحا. Do not walk on this earth that in arrogantly and show the other and look at the people as like cattle. And واقصد في مشيك واغضض من صوتك إن أنكر الأصوات لصوت الحمير. And then slow when you walk. Also look at him. All the practices of the life, how he gives. Wallahi, those advices, I wish I would have time to go through each of them like in a separate khutbah, to have really the guidance exactly what he is meaning, to build this child and be able to be example for himself, for his dad, for the community who lives among them. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us like to be example and to be a follower, a person, and get lessons from those good people. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned them in the Quran like Luqman. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala our kids to follow the same footsteps that the child of Luqman have done. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to guide the children of all of us to the right path, inshallah. Wa sallu wa sallimu على نبيكم ثالث قوله تبارك وتعالى إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد اللهم اغفر للمؤمنين والمؤمنات الأحياء منهم والأموات اللهم انصر الإسلام والمسلمين اللهم اغفر لنا وارحمنا فإنك بنا راحم ربنا لا تؤاخذنا إن نسينا واخطأنا ربنا ولا تحمل علينا إصرا كما حملته على الذين من قبلنا ربنا ولا تحملنا ما لا طاقة لنا به واعف عنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا أنت مولانا فانصرنا على القوم الكافرين اللهم لا تدع لنا في مقامنا هذا ذنبا إلا غفرته ولا هما إلا فرجته ولا ضالا إلا هديته ولا مريضا إلا شفيته ولا دينا إلا قضيته ولا حاجة هي لك رضا ولنا فيها صلاحا إلا قضيتها يا أرحم الراحمين اللهم إنا نسألك العفو والعافية في الدنيا والآخرة اللهم إنا نسألك العفو والعافية في أهلنا وأموالنا وفي أرزاقنا. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive all of us inshallah, and we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to protect all of us from this وباء. إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون قوموا إلى صلاتكم يرحمكم الله وأقيموا الصلاة.
الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
استوت رأسك يرحمكم الله.